intro again.
God, don't. Please don't. You really gonna do this?
Yeah, him. It's our show. We do what we want.
Oh my god, no. Not another freaking wrestling podcast.
Yay!
Like I said, I don't get people like me. So either you love me or you don't.
I love you.
I love you too.
Cody Rhodes is hot dog water solidified.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Not Another Freaking Wrestling Podcast. This is Territory Wars, and I'm the promoter of the Artificial Intelligence Wrestling Federation, better known as the AIWF, No Contest JD.
And I am the promoter of Pro Wrestling Clash, Tiwa. And I'm the promoter of Pro Wrestling Clash, Tiwa.
Bitch, we heard you.
And I'm the promoter of Pro Wrestling Clash, Tiwa.
And I haven't booked my fucking show, and I'm going to win this episode, I promise.
Thank God.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest and boldest host of the most sextastic wrestling federation the globe has ever seen.
What's up, y'all? It's Will Diamond.
Oh, well.
I run Global Force Wrestling with my pal Jeff Jarrett and Jerry Jarrett and Karen Jarrett and Jim Jarrett.
Oh.
Carrie Jarrett's been kicked out. Fuck Carrie Jarrett.
And I'm the Pro Wrestling Clash, Tiwa. What are we fucking doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
There's a lot of pause.
You smell toast?
We're waiting for Jake to introduce himself now.
I was about to. And then Tyler introduced himself for the third time now?
Fifth time.
I was waiting for everyone else to go, but I think everyone was waiting for me to go.
I'm supposed to be the last one on the commissioner.
You're the last one.
Go!
No, a better head of a amalgamated wrestling organization than Billy Corgan. I'm the commissioner. I'm Jake, because I'm damn sure not going to allow Tyrus to be my world champion.
Better late than never.
Yeah. Glad you can be here.
Commish?
Don't make me regret it.
I'm going to.
Commish, whenever you're ready, pick whoever's going first.
Tyler, you go ahead.
All right.
She'll take the longest.
Welcome to another episode of Pro Wrestling.
Hey, everybody! It is Richard Jenkins here at the Secret Smark Show. I am here to rock the place. What are we doing today, guys? What did I bring y'all here to do?
I'm losing my fucking.
I swear, I thought he might take some time off to mourn.
This is how I mourn. This is what Blouse would have wanted.
You're not going to take advantage of your
Blouse
bereavement
didn't even
period?
do these. Blouse didn't care about territory wars.
Blouse cared about ruining your day, though, and that's what I'm here to do.
Well, do you have a card you'd like to present then?
I have this 3 of spades.
Why?
It's a card that I had.
Yeah, but
Oh, are
where's
y'all
the
talking
rest
about
of
wrestling?
the deck?
Yes.
I just wanted to bring one.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Wrestling card. Do you want to be part of the territory wars?
Oh, is this one of your pretend wrestling things? So I have put together a banger of a show today, and since y'all had a problem with it last time, none of these wrestlers are the same person, because apparently that's not allowed according to your make-believe wrestling rules. So I'm going a little old school with this. So the first match is going to be Wild Pegasus versus Too Cold Scorpio. That's going to be a singles match. And I'm going to have...
Pegasus?
Yeah. Wild Pegasus. They're going to defeat Too Cold Scorpio. Then I'm going to have a tag match with Masahiro Chono and Scott Norton. Or,
What?
as you better know them, come on, the Road Warriors.
What? No.
No.
So Chono and Scott Norton are gonna wrestle Animal in a handicap match.
No,
With
they're
Hawk's
going to
Head.
wrestle Akira Nagami and Takayuki Iizuka. Right? Yeah, that's a
The
good
dog
tag
collar
match.
stabby hand, man.
Yeah,
All right,
they're
and
going to win. That's going to be a tag match.
Is this a
Then
New
we have-
Japan show?
Shush. Why are you
keep
still
going, keep going, keep going.
Then we have Hawk Warrior defeating Tadao Yoshida. It's a pinfall singles match, okay? That's what matters. And then we have the Steiner brothers in a tag match against Hiroshi Hase and Kensuke Sasaki.
This sounds so familiar.
The Steiner brothers are going to win that one. It can't sound familiar. This is one that I'm making up 100% from scratch. Okay, and then the final one, it's going to be Inoki versus Ric Flair with Inoki going on top.
This is
Wait.
This sounds way too familiar.
this is
No, it doesn't. It's real. It's my thing. Never happened before.
that's
You
just
can tell
fucking
from my
Collision in Korea.
Yeah.
Um,
You're gonna try to fleece the two dudes that do a podcast about Japanese wrestling?
Did you draw over 100,000 for it too?
I did. It
Two
was a
nights
really big
sold out.
deal. Weirdly, it's weird that you said it was Korea because mine is set in Pyongyang, North Korea. So that's pretty neat that you guessed that where I was going to set it. This
Anyway, Jake, what's the rating for that?
5 stars. 5 stars.
It's
5 stars.
already fucking you plagiarized an actual historic wrestling event. 0 stars.
It's like 30 years ago. It doesn't count as real anymore.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
But you made it up, right?
It's literally the biggest wrestling crowd of all time.
Yeah, because I put on a good
Horse
show.
attendance.
Anyway, who's next?
This is bullshit. I hate this shit.
I guess Tyler can go now. We got that out of the way.
Excellent job, Richard.
Thank you. At least someone appreciates me now that Blouse is gone.
Stupid.
What?
That's sarcasm.
I'm not familiar with it.
Anyway, hurry up. You've got like an hour-long show, and we all know it. Get to it.
Everybody,
trim some of that
welcome to the Halloween special of PBS's own Pro Wrestling Clash. Show couldn't have happened without the sponsorship of viewers like you. Thank you.
Did you have a stroke?
We did. Anywho.
We? Who is we? Who collectively had a stroke here?
I got a show I got to love, fellas, so bear with me. So
yeah, we will.
Excuse me. We ran Dalton High School. We drew about 200 people. It was a football
Are you
season.
saying the entire wrestling organization had a stroke then? Is that what you're saying right here?
Well, that's I'm giving the reason why we're having a low crowd, so you got to bear with me.
I know some of your roster. I can believe it.
It's not over 100,000, so
Anyway,
it's your shit show.
So we open up with an update on Martin Stone. He will be out for a lengthy time because Jake Murphy had to kick his leg out of his leg. And so Jake is on the, I wouldn't say he'd call it Titantron. I would call it the, fishbowl pod because we are only using, the big 1980s Zenith TVs for our Tron. So as Jake's on the...
It's a 23-inch CRT on a table.
The ring announcer goes, "Now, class, turn your attention to the TV at the front."
It's on the rolly cart.
That's how
Do not
PBS
open your
works.
workbooks until you are told to do so.
No, what are those little things that they would have in school where it's like the little light and you put the slides on it? It was like
The
the little
overhead
makeshift
projector.
projectors.
Yeah.
Overhead.
Yeah, PBS won't give us the money for that. Anywho.
Is it just animated and they keep flipping the pages?
Just very fast.
Yeah. Jake gives like a speech saying, "Oh well, this is a rather fortunate turn of events, now isn't it?" How Jake and his smart ass would do, because that's why Jake's one of the best heels on our show.
It's very Jake.
David Young being a second close, but more on that later. Anywho. Jake's claiming that he is going to get a nod off, and with it being Halloween, and it's going to be a special day for him. That's technically his holiday, so he doesn't have to show up for work. Thing is, this show is on October 15th. So me being the commissioner and the promoter of this shindig, thanks to PBS and its funding for viewers like you, Jake must wrestle tonight. In the main event, it will be Jake Murphy against Aaron Dallas, and it'll be a banger. But we move on to the first match.
If a promoter ever said to me this match is going to be a banger, I would walk out.
Well, I didn't notice a lot of people were going to concessions, but at least they weren't leaving the show.
So I just have sorry. I just have something that I'm just very curious about. You've actually booked actual shows, and this is what you're doing?
It's run by PBS.
By you. It's
and
you
PBS.
running
and
this. And this
He's
is okay,
working within his budget.
They got federal funding, okay?
Thank you.
No,
Anywho.
they don't. They only have viewers like you.
Thank you. Anywho, we're opening the show with the Count. Has seen it being it's Halloween. The Count is making, it's doing a ring announcing for the first following match. The following contest. Is scheduled for one. Fall.
I love, by the way, just the image that I have in my head of the Count being in the ring doing this. Like, just the effort involved for this is amazing.
Richard, it's the appropriate time to bring the Count out. It's Halloween. It's a special time. Anywho, I'm trying to get through this show.
Holy shit, this is a good spooky themed show.
David Young's music plays, and this is also for the PBS Championship. And David Young refuses to go out last. He wants to be acknowledged. And as he's going to be acknowledged, he actually punts the Count into the third row. The guy with the hand working the Count, him too. He follows with it. It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
There's a guy controlling the Count?
Anywho, David's opponent is special attraction John Bivens. This should be a very quick match, as you can tell. And Bivens is a good friend of the show, but he's no match for David Young. Basically, punches, boot, shoots him off, spine buster, 1, 2, 3. David continues his reign of PBS terror as the television champion. And gets the mic and says, "Any more Muppets that I want to bunt right now? Because I'm in a good mood right now." Whatever. So, Big Bird comes out in the ring.
I like that. He's getting heat with the PBS legal department calling them Muppets.
So, Big Bird comes out. Apparently, and it's not the real Big Bird.
Why not? You work for PBS.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Is that his music? It's Large Avian.
No, he comes out to that rap song, Biggest Bird.
I'm the biggest bird.
I'm the biggest bird.
So
wait, you just want to make sure you get the real Count, but you can't get the real Big Bird.
He was booked.
Well, if you let me tell the story, God damn it.
You could have booked.
So the Big Bird comes in.
Not real Big Bird.
And No, not Big Bird. Big Bird. Sorry, I've got margaritas and stuff too going on. And David's pointing at the crowd. Blah 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 blah. Big Bird takes off the helmet. It's Derek Neal. Derek Neal beats the brakes off of David. He goes to give him a spine buster of his own. David eats it. He rolls out, and Derek Neal stands strong. He's wanting his shot at David Young because him and Jake is basically moved on.
I have a question
Derek Neal
for you.
wants some gold. What do you want?
So, are you telling me that during all of this, Derek Neal is still in the Big Bird costume, just sans head? Is that correct?
That's what I said.
Okay, so it's a headless Big Bird, but it's still the wings, body, and legs, with just Derek Neal popping out, right?
That's it.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure I had
That's
the mental image
wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling!
Anyway, we cut the commercial on a sponsorship for Pig Blood because it's the Halloween season, and I can't comment on that. I don't know what it's all about, but they give us the money to get this show going.
I don't know what it's all
So the fucking promoter and the guy fantasy booking the show.
I also love the fact that Big Pig Blood is out there with money, just like, hey guys, buy our product. We're gonna sponsor this PBS wrestling show.
It's a Halloween themed wrestling show. We're gonna maximize our profits.
Okay, Tyler, go to your next match.
Thank you. Second match is Austin Towers against Andrew Thomas.
I remember last time you had Austin Powers on it, and it was a really good show.
Towers, you moron.
Lots of mojo on that show.
Towers.
So between Andrew Thomas and Austin Powers, there had to be a lot of sauntering in the ring.
With special guest referee Fat Bastard. Okay.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Anywho, I'm trying to tell a story.
It's a good one. I'm in.
It
Austin
is
Powers
a
was wrestling
very
someone.
pandering story.
Thank you. Anywho, I've lost track. Okay, here we go. Austin Towers is basically showing his power off, but Andrew Thomas is just. Damn it. I'm trying to get this done. I'm just trying.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not even all of this fucking final edit.
You have fucking Pig Blood as a sponsor. Minimal effort.
It's one of two sponsors for the week because it's Halloween.
Okay. Next sponsor is going to be what? Spooky Fire?
Well, I can't get there yet because
Big Spooky Fire is getting involved too.
Sheets are us.
yeah. Okay.
Main event brought to you by Ominous Shadows.
Shut up! You're giving my stuff away.
Keep
Whoever
going,
funds
Tyler.
public broadcasting is public record.
Austin Towers beats Andrew Thomas with the choke slam. Oh God. Next match we have a returning Sarah Dox. Oh my God.
And this match is sponsored by Scary Jack-o'-lanterns.
This match is sponsored by Bottomless Shoes because Sarah Dox has she does things with her hardcore and her feet. And I don't know.
Bottomless shoes just sounds like she's wearing shoes that completely wore out, and they're covering the tops of her feet, but the bottoms are on the ground.
That's
more
exactly.
Ads.
I
That's
thought
the
the
thing
shoes literally
that
had
the
no
Crocs
bottom
do.
and it was a void.
That's a new thing from Crocs. Anywho. It's gracious. I forgot who Sarah Dox was wrestling. Oh, she's wrestling Selena Rose in a women's match.
No shit.
Bold stipulation choice there, Tyler.
The favorite match type, women's.
I just want to do the show, guys. I just want to do this fucking show. Good. Anywho, long story short, again, Selena Rose pins Sarah Dox. Sarah Dox is pissed off. And the count comes back for the third row, and then Sarah Dox punts him to the other side of the high school.
I
Which
like
row
a
did he
good
land
running
in?
story.
I'm just saying, the count's in the wrong place at the wrong time. He needs to go on. Okay? So we need to go into this main event against Aaron Dallas and Jake Murphy. And as the count is moving to the backstage, Jake picks up the count and actually tosses him to the back because he says, enough of this horseshit show promoted by PBS. From viewers like you, you're welcome.
I agree with that sentiment.
So this is a non-title match, but Jake still goes off with a victory with the help of
The count.
Katie and his other minions.
It should have been with the help of viewers like you. Thank you.
Well, Jake,
More on that later.
He is their
more on that later.
Who are the
And-
other minions?
Austin Towers, and I haven't found a replacement for the other person that I refuse to talk about because of reasons. Allegedly. Anywho. Jake gets on the mic and says him and his crew are to be feared. No one will take his belt. No one will take his spot. And we go back to the Zenith TV where it shows Martin Stone walking. And all he just says is, Jake, I'll see you soon. And the show cuts off. And we go to our second sponsor, which is the Boo costume, which is basically a white sheet.
That's the end of the show.
Your show is sponsored by White Sheets.
The show is sponsored by viewers like you. Thank you. And that's the
I'm
show.
just imagining.
It's a short forward card show, but there was
Jake, I'm coming for you. Sponsored by Ghost Costumes.
So, sponsored by White Sheep. So they also sponsored by Gatherings and Open Fields.
And ropes.
Hold on. Whoa.
Spooky Flame was one of your
No.
sponsors earlier.
Whoa. Okay, I understand that.
You picked your sponsors, not me, man. I'm just letting you know.
They're giving
Optics
us.
are
They're
very
giving us
bad.
money. They're giving us money. I don't care.
Freudian slip.
Well,
They're giving us money.
All right,
as long as
Nazi.
it shows- I don't care. Jake?
Commissioner. What
He
do
was
you
in
think
the role
of
the
this
whole time.
fucking masterpiece?
Let's go with JD.
All right.
Wow, I'm glad we can get through that.
This is the AIWF Halloween Bash. Skynet is here. First match is going to be for the inaugural Tag Team Championship, and it's a ladder match. We're going to have Violence is Forever versus the Carney Bag Boys versus Left Hand Path versus Culture Inc. A lot of moving parts going along in this match. So everybody enters the match. Left Hand Path enter last. And they're dragging Kevin Koo behind him, who wasn't with Dominic when he came out. And that's because last show, they drug Kevin Koo off. That was the Masked Men. Ooh, reveal. Anyway, Violence is Forever at a disadvantage to start. And looks like at the finish, the Carney Bag Boys are going to steal this one. Trevor hits the golf flex. He's going up all alone, and they throw a flagpole at him. And
What?
They throw a flagpole at him because Paul Lee is one of those January 6th guys. So he hurls it.
Okay, so
Like
you're
you
talking about
would.
like one of those like a personal flagpole, not a outside flagpole.
No, a personal flagpole like he would be
Tactical
throwing
flagpole.
at a January 6th rally.
Perfect. Okay.
So he throws that at Trev when he's on top of the ladder, and Trev ducks and falls down, and looks like Zach's about to pull down the titles, but oh no, here comes Bobby Flacco. Bobby Flacco takes out Zach, and it's just Paul Lee left up. Paul Lee starts to climb the ladder, and Shane Daniels is coming down for revenge again. Shane hits him with the Baldo bomb. Trevor climbs the ladder, pulls down the titles. Left Hand Path, your new tag team champion. Our next match is a Skynet death match. It's Tank versus Noah Hossman. We call it a Skynet death match because the weapons of this match are like TVs, remotes, dish satellites, things of that nature.
Oh, you mean like the .combat match from Impact?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
So Noah's gonna get the win here after hitting Tank with a taser, and that's round 1 in the Hoss battle.
Okay, so I have a question for you. We've discussed
Yes.
this previously. Why is it not an actual death match? Why is it still just a lightly scraped match?
That's actually a fair question.
Someone needs to die in your match. Rework it.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Don't worry, I got you.
Good. Someone knows how to do a death match right around here.
Next is going to be a triple threat #1 contenders match in a cage. It's going to be Seven versus Warhorse versus special guest David Young, accompanied by Big Bird.
Is this the real Big Bird or is this Derek Neal Big Bird?
The real Big Bird, not that janky ass Big Bird, large avian Tyler
This is
had.
what happens when you're not getting communism money.
We're rolling
Tyler.
the page.
That's not communism. No, it's not. No, it is
It's
not.
funded by the people for the people. That's communism, and I ain't here for it.
Anyway, David Young is gonna try to cheat, pulling out the brass knuckles, and Big Bird's gonna stop him, and then Seven's gonna hit him with his finish for the win. So
Wait,
Big Bird,
hit who? Hit who for the win?
David Young.
Okay, and if it hit Big Bird for the win, sorry.
That'd be cool too. And the last match is inspired by Jake. It's called the What the Fuck Even is a Bunkhouse match for the world title.
Tell me someone came into it not understanding the assignment like I did.
Both of them. It was Matt Cardona defending the championship against the Carpet City Draw, Shane Daniels.
Hey.
Oh yeah, no one more cowboy boots than that one.
No. The finish came later when Paul Lee and Zach Dye ran interference. As Shane fought them off, Matt pushed him to a double stack flaming table for the win.
Oh.
And that's our card. That's our card. Matt Cardona and the Kearney Bag Boys stand tall at the end of the show. And that's your Skynet is Here Halloween bash. Yay.
Yeah.
Fireworks.
See, PBS shows can't do fireworks or pyro.
It'll set the studio on fire.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the promised land where we have an absurd budget for pyro. We got those cool little pinwheels that they used to have on Nitro. Remember those?
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
We got those all around the building. We got them randomly in the middle of rows. It's fucking sick.
I like this. Is already starting off way better than
So
everything else.
opening up our Halloween Spooktacular that we dub, Global Force Wrestling presents the annual Halloween Spooktacular known as Scary Wrestling 7.
I like that. It's a really concise title.
So our theme here for Global Force Wrestling presents the Halloween Spooktacular Scary Wrestling 7 is every match has a very scary stipulation. We have 2 different scaffolding matches tonight. We've got all 3 championships will be defended tonight. But our opening contest, we start the show with a ring promo from Darius Lockhart saying that he tried to show the way to Trish Adora last week after failing to beat Adam Priest in the Next Gen Championship finals, and he tried to show the way to Billy Dixon, but neither of them wanted to listen. But they will listen soon enough because he challenges Trish Adora to a one-on-one match, and tonight's stipulation is the one that scares any wrestler the most, the one that truly strikes fear into their heart. A singles match.
Ooh. Oh.
That starting off with like the hardcore horror. I like this.
So we've got Darius Lockhart versus Trish Adora. We get a nice, snug little 10-minute power hour technical wrestling fest, but ultimately it's not quite enough with Darius Lockhart managing to reverse an armbar into a roll-up. Big brained. And so he starts cutting a promo after beating her that he outsmarted not only Trish Adora, but he outsmarted everyone, and he extends his hand and says that he can show Trish Adora the way, and she accepts, and they both walk off into the back together. Looks like Darius Lockhart has his first student. Coming up next, we have an Inferno match for the Next Gen Championship. We have the inaugural champion making his first defense. We have Adam Priest. And whose music is that? Holy shit. It's the Spooktacular draw, Shane Daniels, coming out to answer the Spicy Open Challenge. And he's got cool red face paint, and he's wearing a shirt that says, "I fucking love Sriracha." And he says, "You can call me Spicy Daniels tonight."
That rules.
That's good.
And who's out there with him, standing out in the middle of the fire because he's immune to it, because he's very spicy and very delicious?
Oh,
It's Curry Man.
it's Curry Man. What a
And
twist.
he's
I love it.
backing Spicy Daniels as he challenges Adam Priest for the Next Gen Championship. But ultimately, it's not quite enough. You see, we have a good, solid. Shane puts up a valiant effort. We get a good 12 and a half minutes. And for a minute there, it looked like he was going to successfully single-handedly throw Adam Priest into the Inferno. But it just was not enough. And Curry Man with the trying to run the distraction on Adam Priest to help Spicy Daniels get the win. But ultimately, it ends up costing Spicy Daniels the match, and he comes keeling over the turnbuckle into the Inferno.
Oh, no.
Ding, ding.
I have
And
to,
you
have to
guys-
commend them on the 12 and a half minutes. That's about 10 longer than I can usually go.
And so
Same.
by this point, we go to a intermission so we can clear out the smoke, because people are starting to pass out from just how excited they were. And so out in the parking lot, we have none other than a spoken word battle rap with
What?
celebrity sponsors. Fred Durst.
Ooh,
Putting
he's
him in our-
good.
He's very good. And he's going to be battle rapping with none other than Diedrich Baker, esteemed voice actor.
This is the kind of match that I came for.
And so inevitably things get a little bit heated, and we have a large brawl in the crowd. Someone starts throwing knives.
Oh, shit.
And so everyone runs back inside, and perfect timing, because who's there already in the ring doing a bunch of stretches waiting for everyone? It's the Gymnasty Boys, and it's the Outrunners. And so they're having a stretch-tastic stretchathon, and to see who can outstretch the other.
Ooh.
And it's a heated 20-minute affair. But ultimately, the Outrunners collapse because they don't have contracts. And the
Typical
Gymnasty
losers.
Boys rejoice. And per the stipulation, they would both receive a title match of their choosing. Timmy Lou Retton says, obviously, a tag title shot. White Mike says, I want the world title. I want Nick Gage. And I want him now.
That's intimidating.
Bree woo, bree woo, bree woo woo. Out
Is that
comes
the cop
promoter
going up
Jeff
and then Gage
Jarrett.
come out?
And he says, now hold on, Maximum Bustard brother. We can't be having that fight right now. You're too fired up from stretching. We need you some time to cool down. You're a little too limber. That's giving an unfair advantage to Nick Gage.
Fair. That's fair.
So you'll face him in the main event. And Gage picks the stipulation, and White Mike gets to pick another stipulation. Scary.
Very.
So we move things along to...
I have a question for you. Do you charge people for the entire seat or just the edge, since that's the only part they're going to use?
That's where the money really comes in. You see, we charge extra to use the edge.
Ooh.
It has sensors built in to the Jeffersonville Arena seats. And once you slide up, which is going to be as soon as the music starts, it automatically bills you.
Ooh, I like that. Smart business. This is how a promotion is done. Thank you.
I'll have to take notes for the tax show.
But we move things along to our first scaffolding match of the evening. Truly horrifying heights for the tag team championships. We have the Natterday Saints, and we have men that are maybe should not be 80 feet above the ring. But we have your tag team champions, Action South.
That's horrible.
So George
Awesome.
South and Action Mike are up there. They're strutting, they're peacocking, they're throwing some weird gunk down from their pockets at the crowd.
Just random like lint and dust and stuff.
Yeah, it's George is just doing George. He's getting heat. And so he keeps throwing down gunk because he refuses to take off his jacket, and it's got a lot of pockets, and he's got a lot of lint gunk in.
Why you got these old men over the scaffolding like this?
80 feet.
80 feet.
And so things are getting really hot and heavy up there. We got Bradley Prescott the fourth. No.
Oh.
It's just really hot because the arena's so packed and all that heat is rising. And they're up at the ceiling of this stadium.
Okay. And heat rises. I got this now.
But they're sweating, they're slipping. And Bradley Prescott is tussling with George South, trying to throw him off the scaffolding to become the new tag team champion. Because the rules are both members have to go. And he can't quite get it. But who comes up out of nowhere trying to make the save? His tag team partner comes in, pushes Bradley Prescott. He comes plummeting down, lands on section 5G. It's a mess. And so now it's down to Adam Slade and the tag team champions. And he's putting his dukes up. And Action Mike goes running for a lariat, but he slips on some of the sweat. And he's holding on to the edge of the scaffolding. And they're both staring at him. And Adam runs at it, and he's grabbing his arm trying to get him to fall. And who comes to stomp on the hand of Action Mike? The only other person that could be available and on the scaffolding, his own tag team partner, George South.
You're fucking kidding me.
You got them both up there?
Yes. And
you
he
must have paid
stomps
a lot
on
of money.
his. It's a tag title match. They're the tag team champions. They have to be up there. They're contractually obligated.
Facts. That's how wrestling contracts work.
And so, while Action Mike is dangling there, George South go ahead and dumps Adam Slade over. They're both dangling from the edge. And Action is saying, "Help me up, George. Why'd you stomp my hand?" And George South just looks him in the eyes and he goes, I am the tag team champions. And he does a big old double stomp on both their hands. And they both come plummeting down, but due to how high they just had different trajectories, Action Mike comes hurling down into the upper bowl, section J11.
Oh, that's where my seats are.
Slade, a little more fortunate. Luckily, he managed to land in the very cushy A2.
That is the pillow section in most shows.
It is. And everyone just in dismay, the crowd storming to the scaffolding, trying to shake it to knock George South down.
Oh, it's old school.
But he has great balance, and he lets them know as he keeps throwing pocket lint gunk and spits down on them.
That man's a real rat bastard.
And
Yeah.
And so we cut things backstage to hype up our next scaffolding match for the evening. We have Billy Dixon and Kaito Ishida finally looking to settle their beef. But what beef, you may ask? Why, let's find out. So earlier in the evening, they were out at Quiznos. And
Those still exist?
Yeah, there's no better way to roast a sub, man.
so
I
they
remember
were
the
out at
commercials.
Quiznos. And Billy Dixon walked in, and Kaito Ishida is like, oh, hey, what are you doing here? This is my spot. You're going to make this too popular, and then they're going to get too cool. Get out. And so he tries to force Billy Dixon to leave the Quiznos. He's trying to be a gatekeeper. And so they have a big old tussle. They're throwing sandwich artists at each other. And so who happened to also be enjoying a sandwich? None other than co-commissioner Jerry Jarrett. And so he throws a table at them and says, y'all are settling this in the gold.
In a scaffolding match.
Yes.
All over a Quiznos.
Well, it's for the rights to be at that Quiznos, right? Like that's
Yeah.
the
If you touch non-scaffolding, you can never eat at the Quiznos again. So it's a
Pretty harsh
high-stakes
commitment.
co-main event. But we move things into our Coco main event. We have Alec Price versus Mark Haskins in one of the spookiest of stipulations. Ladders on ladders.
That sounds very scary.
So this match is for the #1 contendership of the Global Force Wrestling Global Championship. And so both men start in the ring, and there is a Hell in a Cell-like structure, and there is a ladder to a hatch to get to the top. And then outside, once you are on top, there is another ladder that will lead you to the top of the smaller scaffolding
God almighty.
that we use to get them up to the tall scaffolding for the big matches. That will then lead you to the 90-footer. And up there is the briefcase hanging from the ceiling. By this point, you're close enough you can just reach up.
This is all for Quiznos.
yeah.
No, this is for the #1
God.
contendership of the Global Championship. The scaffolding match that's next is for the Quiznos.
Okay, I'm still stuck on Quiznos.
This is not
Go ahead.
hard to
Go ahead.
follow, Tyler. Jesus
Kind of
Christ.
it. I was lost at Quiznos. I'm kind of hungry, but go ahead.
What do you expect
go
from
ahead.
someone who booked
So-
a fake Big Bird?
Immediately, both men start running up the first ladder. They don't like the cage because it's really ominous. We have a lot of like spooky witch noise speakers because Big Spooky Witch sponsored this show.
That's one of my favorite companies. I'm glad they're involved.
And so they did not like the spooky witches that were not. So we had a cancellation last second, and the van full of spooky witches got stuck in traffic. So we just had the sounds, but they did not. Those wrestlers did not like the implication, and so they got out of there like a bat out of a witch infested spooky house. And so they're up there on the structure and they're brawling, trying to see who can be the first one up on the short scaffolding on top of the cage. And so they're climbing up that ladder. And who's that? We've got the Wolfman's music is hitting, and the Wolfman's running down the ring, and he climbs up the cage and he pushes over the ladder while they're both on it, and they take a pretty gnarly bump, but not through it because we have structural integrity in this house.
What the?
So the Wolfman does a howl, does a fucking triple moonsault off the cage, and runs to the back.
Kind of like how
That's
Teddy
hard
And
Rush.
so they both recover, and they're doing the fucking, the wrestling, I'm crippled ladder crawl. And so both men manage to get up to the scaffolding, but what is this new horror coming down from the zip line? It's a bunch of gargoyles.
I thought you were going to say Blue Blazer, but
Oh, fucking it. Okay.
No, we're not tasteless.
So I do have a question for the gargoyles. Are these like general gargoyles, or are they like Disney's gargoyles? For
Which
the TV
Disney's
show.
gargoyles?
The hit TV show Gargoyles.
That
the
one.
best
So
fucking shit ever.
that one, because those were more spooky, and also Disney said no to Hunchback of Notre Dame, but we figured that they forgot that they made this, and we were right. And so these gargoyles come ziplining out of nowhere, and they're brawling. They're all brawling, and so Alec Price and Mark Haskins have to team up to fight off these gargoyles on the scaffolding. And so the gargoyles just keep on coming. And so they're climbing up the ladder, and the gargoyles yank the ladder out, so they have to climb up the side of the scaffolding. But now we still got more and more gargoyles ziplining onto the short scaffolding that it collapses, and all the gargoyles plummet. So they don't get to be number one contender.
Damn.
Stupid law.
Gargoyles.
And finally, Alec Price and Mark Haskins make it to the top scaffolding, still soaked with the blood and sweat of old men and young men. But who's up there awaiting them? 4 Draculas.
Ooh.
And so all 4 of the Draculas start trying to attack them, and they start going, rawr.
That's. What are you laughing for? Thank you.
And once
As
again,
Draculas
Alec
do.
Price and Mark Haskins have to team up to beat up these stupid Draculas. And they
Hey, I got
throw
that
them
same cup.
off into the crowd, and they in unison say, I ain't gonna be no Bites McGee.
Fair.
And
Bye.
then
Okay.
realizing that the true journey wasn't to become number one contender. It was the number one contenders we met along the way. And then they embrace each other, and they both, while holding hands, climb up the final ladder, grab the briefcase, and are declared co-number one contenders. We got a new tag team, y'all.
It's beautiful.
That was the longest
And
match
lame.
Then
ever.
But more on that later.
lights fade out, and on the Jumbotron, in quotation marks, ain't no Bites McGee coming soon.
Whew.
Well,
So since the lower scaffolding got destroyed, we had to use kind of a lot of like balloons to get Kaito Ishida and Billy Dixon up there because there was no other safe option. But
Yeah,
they're
what
up
else you gonna
there
do?
for with no entry on the line. Scaffolding screams. And it's a relatively quick fashion. Billy Dixon hits him with a big boot, sit out pile driver, and power bombs him off the scaffolding. Ishida unfortunately gets no offense.
Wow.
Just like that, he is immediately having to give up his spot that he tried to gatekeep. And then Billy Dixon grabs a mic and says, "There's a lesson to be learned in this story, children."
well, at least
And then the
Ishida's,
lights go out.
at least Ishida's one half of my PBS tag team champions. He's got that.
Well, He's got something.
That's,
might
that's
have
one of the
broken
most
legs.
Yeah, that's one of the most heartwarming matches I've ever seen.
So now we have our main event. Nick Gage versus White Mike for the Global Championship. White Mike picks the stipulation of no or only moves that involve stretching. Nick Gage picks the move or the stipulation, no stretching allowed.
Ooh.
So it becomes a true test to see who is the better wrestler. So they just start dumping light tubes over light tubes on each other. And it's just a weapon fest. There is no moves. There is no stretching. Everyone is walking like Frankenstein and really stiff.
That's spooky.
And ultimately, they both accidentally start stretching whenever they fall over and they both sit up. And so it's thrown out. And so the crowd gets really ravenous. So we restart the match and we make them pick new stipulations. And so they unanimously agree on a good old staple, 5 out of 7 tables.
Classic.
And so it's a relatively fun little brawl fest. They go all around the arena. They squirt each other with hot dog condiments.
Like a real
And
promoter provides.
they're brawling up on the upper bowl, and White Mike gets shoved off, and damn, he just went through 3 tables at once. And he tries to get up and falls through another table. He's already down 4. And who's this coming from behind and shoving Nick Gage over into, we have just a really big table area, by the way, at these shows for merch. And we're just fucking up all the other guys' merch tables. And Darius Lockhart shoves Nick Gage off the scaffolding through some more tables. We're now 4 in 4. So it's sudden death. Next table to a finish. Darius Lockhart, while booing and throwing pocket lint that he got from George at Nick Gage, it's not enough to distract him. Sit out pile driver through the final table. Still your world champion. Darius Lockhart does a cool little swanton bomb off the balcony onto Nick Gage. He's punching on him. Trish Adora runs out and is punching on Nick Gage. And Darius Lockhart runs away with the belt. Nick Gage does his whole little "Where's my gang at" show closer promo. But before he can do his little MDK, the lights cut out again, and we hear the little sonar beep thingy again.
Crazy.
Sponsored by Frankenstein neck bolts.
Well, I guess it's my turn, and here at Ram Ranch, I had a little help with this show, with the show titles. It was a fun little game. All the show titles. If I've learned anything about indie wrestling, if you want to make something sound important, you put a nice title at the beginning of it. So that's what we did with this show. So Ram Ranch Professional Wrestling, presented by Adam and Eve, Moans of Madness.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He should have taken a page out of OVW's book and just called it The Big One.
The big one. On our opener, we had the Devil Seduction Submission match. And that was with Shane Marks and Wade. It was a nice back and forth submission match, counter for counter. Shane grabs a chair because he realizes that he can't beat Wade. Coach grabs it and gets the ref distracted, and Shane's with the ref. Brian comes in and sprays Wade in the eyes, and then Shane locks him in a rear naked choke, forcing him to tap out.
The most seductive of moves.
Yes, very seductive.
I know, I'm torqued.
Then we had the Class of Seduction, the Money Shot Championship match, Casey Owens versus Aiden Wright.
This is a really horny show.
I'm not sure if I like how this one's going to go.
So Casey are going back and forth. Finally, he gets control, goes for a back body drop. Aiden floats over. Casey struggles, and Aiden loses his grip and grabs Casey's singlet and pulls it down to reveal that he has a pumpkin thong on. And then he sits down on Aiden's chest and grabs the legs for the 1, 2, 3. Your champion and still Casey Owens. What was that, Jake?
The chat.
Okay. So then we had the Raunchy Ring Riot Tag Team Championship match.
Oh,
Raunchy.
Yes.
That's a god, man. That rolls off the tongue. I love that.
Yeah, I like that one too. That was a good one. This was a triple threat. It was the Young Bloods, Cult of Cash, Towers, and Jeter versus Bussy. This match eventually broke down and had a waterfall finish, and what that is basically all the teams hit finish one right after another. Left Big O and Austin Towers there. O hits him with the O kick and thinks he has it. 1-7 pops out of nowhere and hits Octavius with a chair, which is legal because it's a triple threat match. And your winners and new tag team champions, the Cult of Cash, Austin Towers and Jeter.
With it being sponsored by Adam and Eve, I was really afraid of what a waterfall finish was.
That's a good one. That's what we try to do here at Ram Ranch Wrestling, provide the best. And that leads us to the open, passionate Royal Rumble, number 1 contenders match for the Money Shop Championship. We have pretty much free agents in this match. Menace, Andrew Thomas, Gunnar Miller, Aiden makes an appearance, Adrian Alexander, Alex Pierce, Curryman, Jody Lynch, and myself. Because you can't have a big Halloween wrestling show without a battle royal and try to put yourself over. So, last 4 ended up being Menace, Gunnar Miller, Curryman, and Andrew Thomas. Menace and Gunnar were fighting it out and eliminated each other, so then it left Curryman and Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas went for a clothesline. Curryman ducks and throws Andrew Thomas over. So Curryman is now the number 1 contender for the Money Shot Championship. No, not excited about that. I am. That's going to be great.
Woo! I'm excited about everything.
So then we have the Ram Ranch Professional Wrestling Championship, the lustful lockdown cage match. Brad Cash versus Jaden. And this was everything you expected a cage match to be. Lots of blood, lots of guts. Eventually, they beat the shit out of each other. Jaden starts to get the upper hand, and who pops out from underneath the ring? None other than Cruel. He goes to choke slam Jaden. Jaden counters, gets free. Brad goes for the off with your head, hits Cruel. Jaden hits Brad with a roaring elbow. Brad falls through the hole and rolls out from underneath the ring. Bell rings. Brad wins. And that was Moan of Madness, brought to you by Adam and Eve.
Excellent.
All right, so Commissioner, we know mine won.
Okay. What's second?
What's second place for this?
Here's the scores, Commish.
See, I was thinking the star rating system's overdone. Fuck you, Dave Meltzer.
Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna go with whoever's the. Hey, look, we're in the office again. I'm just going with who won. I feel like it's easier. It's less that I have to fucking write down. I think I'm gonna go with Ram Ranch this week.
Oh man.
They felt like Shane's felt like it was a little bit more concise. And
You know what?
It was a little bit more concise, and he did the gimmicks without getting too crazy. I
Let's
really
be
like yours
honest.
too, though, JD.
Let's be honest. Shane felt like it was written at the last minute.
Which
but
show had
still.
weird gimmicks? Had over the top gimmicks? Which one had that?
Will. With the gargoyles and shit running around.
No, that's good
What do you mean?
booking, man.
I crowned 2 number 1 contenders, made a tag team. No, I crowned multiple contenders. We've got Gym Nasty Boys with a guaranteed shot at the tag belts. We've got the new hot tag team forms of Bites McGee Busters, Alec Price, and Mark Haskins.
And
You
the
didn't have
real
to count
Big Bird.
yourself.
And the
We've
real
got-
Big Bird's there.
I had the real Big Bird.
Oh.
We had the debut of the new and improved Spicy Daniels. And then he got dumped into some fire. But so really, I formed 2 tag teams because Spicy Daniels and Curryman will be back on television in some
Tried
capacity.
to kill Shane. I can't get behind that.
Well, that's his own fault.
Shane survived, though, because he's a fighter. And you should
Well,
appreciate
I mean,
what he went
Curryman
through.
helped drag him out after a little bit of singeing because Curryman's immune to it because he's so spicy.
Makes sense.
All right, so Shane won. Who's second, third, fourth?
Since I really liked yours too, JD. Like that was tough between yours two. So I'd give you second, and then
I'll take second.
silver medal.
Still on the podium, damn it.
Yeah, third place is hard because I feel like Tyler and Will be mad at me no matter which one I pick.
I'm already mad at you.
You get heat with me over a fucking fantasy booking show.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot on you in your next match.
So we got that booked on the 5th of Never, right? I gotta make sure I'm not booked.
Just you wait.
Can't double book myself. Drew never taught me how to double shot.
That's a good thing.
Then I had a slight allergic reaction to ketchup last night, so it was fucking.
What?
Were you not there, Mr. Jenkins?
What kind of weak ass commissioner gets a allergic reaction to ketchup?
That'll be another conversation.
I vote we replace him with Scott Steiner. Effective immediately.
I've already called Skunk in. Skunk is going to be the new commissioner. Skunk's not allergic
No.
to ketchup.
He's already fired.
Oh yeah.
Let's bring in Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He's not
That's
allergic
it.
to ketchup.
You can always bring in Billy Corgan and just make Tyrus all your guys' heavyweight champion.
Fuck no.
Billy
Bill-
Corgan would be eating up Tyler's shit.
He would. He would.
He
and
would
then make
be like,
Tyrus the world champion.
he would be all over the count angle.
Well, guys, we got, what, 2 more episodes of Territory Wars
I think so.
before we do the big blow-off?
All right, how about this? I'll make you a deal to make it fair for
I
the
wish
next
you
time.
wouldn't.
No, this is how it's going to go. To keep it fair, because I know you keep not picking me as a winner because my shows are too good. What if for the next one I actually do a real show with people?
We'll send you our draft pool, and you
Okay.
and you can go from there.
I'll
our
show
free
you.
agent pool.
I'll show you how it's done.
All right. Well, until then, Jake, you want to say Happy Halloween, or do you just want to tell them to bring money still?
Nah, bring candy.
No, bring more big spooky sponsorships.
Give out money for Halloween.